So we appreciate you all for doing that. Parent night, let's make sure that we're there. Now, we move parent night up from 4 to 6. So we'll move parent night up instead of 5 to 7, and we move parent night from 4 to 6. So as part of our day, you know, you don't have to go and find something to do for an hour and a half. So we'll move it 4 to 6, and then we'll be done with that.
Dr. Gray, why are there 5?
Ma'am?
Why are there 5 of them?
We have 5 parents.
I think I was tripping. But we're going to get you the correct dates. Because I think, I can tell you which one needs to come on. I think it's March. But I'll get y'all the right dates on that. Yeah, it was more than that. I just forgot to take that one off. For some reason, when I was doing the calendar, we were just putting parent nights down there for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. All right, go on up. All right, make sure we have an inventory of our things. And listen, make sure at the end of the year, or you can do it now, or at the end of the year, make sure you put your name on all your stuff. Because you know they clear at Christmas and at the end of the year. They move all of your stuff out your classrooms to your rooms. And sometimes chairs may be all the way down the hallway, or you can't find it, or it's in somebody else's classroom. So please make sure you label all of your stuff so when it's taken out, it can go back into your classroom. All right, I talked about the professional growth plan, the goals. You know, that's part of the, when they did away with PLCs and everybody has to do that. PLUs, I'm sorry. And then, of course, we'll do our professional learning days, and then just some reminders, okay? Just some quick reminders. We're not to leave campus during school hours without permission from an administrator only. Y'all did a good job with that, and you make sure that you sign the clipboard where you sign in and out for that. It'll be with Ms. Sheldrick at this time. As quickly as we can get a replacement, it'll be with that person. Dance routines must be viewed and approved by the administrator. Music played during school activities must be approved by the administrator. We was eating breakfast this morning. Them words, people started talking through that mic. I couldn't get to that plug quick enough. Because I didn't need to start. I didn't know what it was. It was just a commercial. Because when you play music through YouTube, I just find out they'll go to commercials. But you know, when you get doing commercials on YouTube, that can be anything. And I didn't want to start my year off with somebody cursing over the thing. And there have been administrators that have been relieved because of not checking music. And you at the stadium and you let the kids throw in a CD, and it ain't the Walmart version. You just had a bad day. Okay. So that's why all that stuff have to be approved. You know, we review the performances. We do have that discussion. Students must remain seated until the bell rings for them to leave the classroom. So if we're doing our lessons and then we're doing our assessments at the end, that shouldn't be an issue. We shouldn't walk by class and they already lined up, standing by the door. They should stay in their seats until the bell rings. Please don't leave your class unsupervised for any reason. If you need to leave the classroom, just call us and we will send someone there to cover you so those students won't be there by themselves. Remember, it's a smoke-free campus, a tobacco-free campus. We cannot do it while allowed on campus. Can't allow students to sleep in class or allow students to place their head on desks and attempt to go to sleep. If they lay their head down, eventually they're going to go to sleep. Okay? And the worst thing I don't enjoy, I come into a class, and a kid is over there asleep, and I try not to, you know, I hate going over there and waking them up. But, you know, when I walk in, they're still sleeping. I walk over there and wake them up, and some of them, you can tell they've been asleep for a while. But they got arm prints in the side of their face. They wiping their mouth, eyes red. You know, so we can't allow them, and we got to start that on day one. We can't allow them to sleep in class. All right, please don't deny a student a pass to the restroom. This cannot be defended. If a student is sick, please don't try to diagnose the illness. Just send them to the office. You know, it can't be, I just saw you last period over there talking to your girlfriend. Boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. They say they're sick, send them to the office. Because God forbid if one of them is sick and they ask to go and we don't send them and something happened to them. And that is just totally, go ahead.
Is this still a thing where if they're out of passes and they need to go, do they still need a counselor referral to go to the office?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, and we'll get to, I don't think I've had hit the passes yet, but we'll get to that. All right, if you got a student, you feel like you're taking advantage of the policy, you just come and let us know. Well, we do track those counseling forms. So we do track those counseling forms, not only for your class, but their whole schedule. All right, new teachers, if you got any questions, just feel free to ask them or for some clarification. All right, teachers are allowed to issue an excessive number of passes to students. We've taken care of that in our past procedures. Please do not let students leave the class without a pass. So make sure every student has a pass. We've ran it out a few times, and when I run into them, I send them back to get a pass. We just got to get into that routine of making sure they have a pass. Make sure we had our assigned duties and stay there until, we leave. The bell rings at 8:15, but we leave our duties at 8:10 to allow you all to get back and prepare for your classes. Also this year, we're going to make sure that the breakfast line closes at 8:15, so we don't have those kids that straggler and sit around and then when the bell rings, they want to run and get breakfast. We're going to make sure that gate is down at 8, well, we're going to have somebody standing there. We can't put the gate down. Some of them may still be in line. But we'll have somebody standing there to make sure that 8:15, nobody is coming in there. And I'll make that clear to them when I meet with them. Organizational chart when dealing with issues. You know, it's a small town. You know, some of us are on, we go to board. We got board members in our church. You know, we grew up with the superintendent. But please, follow the chain of command. That's a pet peeve of mine. I was hired to do a job, and if the superintendent's got to do my job, and I tell her, if you got to do my job, then what do you need me for? So at least give us opportunity to deal with the issue here. And as y'all heard me say before, if we can't deal with it, me and you and everybody else will go to the superintendent and try to deal with it. But please follow the chain of command when dealing with issues and give us an opportunity to handle the issue. Remember, discipline is everyone's issues. We must address discipline issues, no matter where it happens. Again, proper uniforms on activities. Activity teachers provide a safe place. Well, we don't do netbooks anymore, but allow them to provide a safe place to store their valuables. And make sure that we lock those locker rooms or whatever. Lock them and then unlock them. In that way. And tell students, please do not leave valuables in that locker room. Okay, and follow our policies and procedures as they are written, not to the way we are interpreting them. So just read them and follow them that way. All right. Student policies and procedure violations must be addressed by all faculty and staff members whenever and wherever the violation happens. All right, going up this area. See what time it is. Oh, okay. Let's speed up. Go ahead. Keep going. All right, hall policy. All right, students will be given 3 hall passes per class. All right, and I don't know if they've already sent them to y'all. If not, they will be sending them to you with the page protectors. These passes will be used when the student requests to leave the classroom, for example, restroom, locker, water, etc. Pass to the library and or computer lab will be at the discretion of the teacher. So anything that they're doing for their pleasure and you're not giving them permission to do it, they need to fill out a pass. When you get the pass sheet, it'll be cut in 4 sections. 3 sections are for the students' use. The 1 section to the bottom right is for like they get called to the office or something that's school related that do not count against them. It goes into the bottom right half of the pass. All right, pass must be filled out every time a student leaves the classroom and returns. That's what I was talking about, the alternative pass. If a student is sent to ISS or go home, we will keep the pass sheet and we will place it in your mailbox so you can re-add it back to your notebook. Please check the return times on pass when kids return to class from the office, counselors, etc. So you make sure that they're moving in a timely manner. Every 9 weeks, we will issue a different color pass. The thing we have to do, we have to hold on to those passes. All right, because we had a situation where last year, we had a situation where we were trying to, I don't remember what it was, but then we went and checked the pass and we couldn't find the pass. And it was like a legal matter. And so we was trying to, because the videos go out, I think the videos, they're digital, so they go out like every 2 weeks. So I can't pull up something past a week or past 2 weeks. So we get the pass, there may be times where we have to come and look for a date and look for a pass. And so make sure you keep them, make sure you pull them out of the, make sure you switch them in and out every year. Don't leave the passes in the page protectors. You can let the students do that. You know, when you get them, you can let them put their names on their pass and insert it into the pass protector. At the end of the 9 weeks, you let the students pull the pass out, you collect them, and insert the new pass. Any questions on that? All right, we talked about section summary. Do not allow early release students to stay in your room during 7th period unless they're making up work, and you got to let us know if you have one, because if someone's looking, it's all about accountability. If someone's looking for them, we have to be able to locate them. But if they're early release, make them go home. Don't let them hang out with us. Okay, we talked about signing in and out. We can't sign in and out for another person. If the computers are down, y'all know we go to the paper. We have a paper copy next to you, and we talked about leaving campus. All right, go ahead.
Will that sign-out sheet be in Ms. Ogden's office, or will it still be over in?
It'll be next to the, oh, you're talking about leaving.
You have to leave your thing or something, you just have to do it.
Yeah, until we get a replacement, it'll be with Ms. Ogden, until we get a replacement. Either Ms. Ogden or Ms. Boyd, until we get a replacement. But we're gonna be working on that, try to turn that around pretty quick. All right, 6-step discipline plan. 2 of the steps must be some form of parental notification. It can be anything from counseling, anything you did in those 6 steps prior to sending up that big, long discipline referral. All right. Dress code, just make sure the students are in dress code. We check them first period, but we need to continue to check them throughout the day. You know, I'm gonna let y'all read what the dress code is. I had someone call me the other day. I don't know, El Pasto or what's the guy on the horse, the designer on the horse, Ralph Lawrence, and y'all look, I don't buy those kind of things, y'all. But they come out with these new shirts. They got the stripe on the collar and the stripe on the sleeves. All right, it's solid. It has to be solid. Okay, so they come in here, it has to be a solid color. Okay, so they come in here with them stripes. That's a dress code violation. You got any questions? If you have any questions about a dress code, send them to us and let us look at it. Okay, don't get into, hey, I'm not sure about that. Go to the office. Send them to the office with a dress code slip, and if it's okay, we'll put okay, and we'll do away with the dress code slip. If it's not, then we'll take care of it. But that's the dress code. Make sure you familiarize yourself with that. Why do we not wear hoodies in high school? Cameras, and for what? Safety. That's the reason. So if students ask you why you don't wear hoodies, that's why. But they'll put them hoodies on, and I'll be showing the camera to a person, and the parent will swear them down. That ain't my child. And they can be standing right next to me with the same hoodie and the clothes they got on. But if we can't see their face, they'll swear them down. That's not their child. And it depends on how bad the consequences are going to be. All right, so just familiarize yourself with that. And leggings cannot be worn as an outer garment, but may be worn under a dress or skirt. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Coach Gray,
Sir.
if the metal detector kids come in with hoodies, you know, we kind of, do we take it, seize them right then, or we give them tell them to put it up, or?
No, we see it, we take it.
Okay.
That's what we do. We have the metal detector, and you know, I see one walking, all of a sudden they develop a big hump in their neck because they done tucked the hood in. We just take them from it and we give them back to them at the end of the day. We don't make a big deal out of it unless they keep doing it. So we collect them, we give
I'm
it back
talking
to
like
them.
when they're right when they're walking in the door. So we give them we say, I mean, we've talked about doing it a couple of ways, like, you know, as long as they got it off when they walk in the building, they're good.
No, we see it, we collect
Okay.
it. Yeah, we see it, we collect
Because
it.
how about in the morning when they walking in through the cafeteria, a lot of them walk with their belts. As soon as they walk in, they're supposed to have the belts on, correct?
That's correct. Well, going through metal detector?
Well, no, once they get through the metal detector, you know, they'll walk around the cafeteria and have them, when you're doing duty, they'll have them hanging on their
Yeah, they ought to be
shoulders
dressed.
and-
Yeah, they ought to be dressed. And you know, don't get it. You know, you tell them because it's gonna be an administrator sometimes too in there. You tell them you need to have that belt on, and they start, you know, resisting. Don't get into it. Just come and let us know, and we'll come and take care of it. All right, go ahead, Ms. Ingram. Anything on dress code that we need to discuss that y'all have seen that I need to hit on when I talk to the students? And y'all know sagging pants, ain't no warning on sagging pants. You know, now there's some where I use my own judgment, I see it, you know, kind of going down, I'll tell them to tighten up. If they all down here, then we send them home or make them bring a parent back every time. All right, medication, all prescription medication for kids need to be turned into the office. They don't need to be self-medicating. And I'll talk to them about that. We know we don't allow any electronic devices and transportation and pickup. All right, it's the responsibility of teacher, coach, or school activity director to make sure that they follow the following. Go up, Ms. Ingram. All right, thank you. Guidelines before, after traveling or returning from any school event or activities. Keep the students together in one location until their ride arrives and pick them up once the event is over. Always have an adult with the students at the pickup location to make sure the students are under continuous supervision. Do not send students from your location to another location without adult supervision. Be able to identify the person that arrives to remove the student from the premises. Do not allow students to drift off to an unsupervised area. They must remain with you until their ride arrives. You must not leave the premises until every student is picked up and accounted for. At away events, all students must return on the bus unless they are returning with their parents, parents only. Parents must sign the event sign-out form, okay? So if you're away, and I know a lot of my coaches, they'll have that form, and then, you know, make sure you hand it to the parent, parents sign and give it to you before you release that child. And make sure you see that child with that parent. Don't take their word for it. I know several years ago, I had a cheerleader. She decided she wanted to leave early. She quit the cheering squad right there at the ball game, and she decided she wanted to leave early, so she's gonna leave with her cousin. And I was like, "No, you ain't leaving with your cousin." So we made her ride back. And then I've had boyfriend and girlfriend situations where the boyfriend gonna come to the game, and then the girl wanna ride back with the boyfriend. And they ride back on that bus. Now, if that boyfriend wanna follow the bus, he can do that. But they cannot. They have to stay with us, because everything is good until something happens. And nobody will complain, and everything is cute until something happens. So make sure when we're dealing with students that we follow these procedures. Can't take a no from a parent to allow a student to ride home from an away event with someone other than their parents. Students can only be transported to school-sponsored events by school bus. Only school board education employees are allowed to ride the bus to and from an event unless the non-employee is approved as a chaperone. We had one trip, teacher was going to the fair, stopped, halfway they got to the fair, picked up family members, and they all rode to the fair. True story. I know y'all like, what? True story. And they've been doing it for a couple years until they had a bus follow them, and then of course the other people brought it to our attention. But they were picking up family members, let them get on the bus, and ride them to the fair. Yeah, I know. All right, and here it is, according to Legal Match, which is a lawyer service website. The school district has a duty to exercise care to protect students from reasonable, foreseeable dangers by controlling the conduct of the students while they're in the school or engaged in school activities. After an accident or injury, the basic question determines whether supervision was adequate and whether the school should have done anything reasonable within its power to protect the students. A school and or teacher may be liable for injuries a student suffered for lack of supervision. So not only can they sue the school, they can sue you as an individual. All right, go ahead on up. Go ahead on up. All right. All right, when we meet with our students, make sure we explain the tardy policy. Y'all know we have 2 tardy policies, which we started last year. We have a tardy to school and a tardy in the building. And we did that last year because we ran into a lot of parents and wanted to make excuses. So the tardy in the building, there's no excuse for that. They cut down on our tardies because they only had 10 all year and it did not start over. So we'll follow that same thing. There's a list of things we have to participate in that are mandatory. Those are the dates. So please adjust your calendar accordingly. All right. As far as testing, please do not allow substitutes to administer tests. If you're not going to be here, then just postpone the test until you're going to be here. They can't do SLOs or milestones or anything like that. All right, videos. We must have videos approved. We cannot show videos that are not on the, not been approved by the media or the video committee. All right, no R-rated videos, and they can be R-rated. In the state of Georgia, is grounds for dismissal. No R-rated videos be shown under any circumstance. Prior approval must be obtained before showing any part of any privately owned or rental video. That prior approval is through the video committee. Especially at ROTC, may use videos for more than one curriculum. Special permission may be obtained from department chairs or the media, it gotta be the media committee. All right, so if you have a video, every one of them in the media center has been approved by the video committee. And you can't give them to the committee and expect them to stop what they're doing and approve them the next day. So if you got some videos that you think you want to show, get them to them and give them time. All right, our web pages, just keep them maintained and updated. All right, go ahead, Ms. England. All right, that's our bail schedule. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, go back. Go back. All right, we have, we'll still have halt time built in to our schedule, as well as our reading times that'll still be built into our schedule. Halt time is based on our formative assessments. Those are things that our formative assessments are telling us that we need to spend a little more time with students on during our halt time day. And then, of course, our reading day, our literacy, it's the strategy within whatever you're teaching. It's not something different. The strategy within whatever you're teaching, you just incorporate that reading strategy. All right, go ahead, Ms. Amy. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. These are where you can find the different forms. It's in your handbook. You can run copies of them. You can go ahead. All right, hold on, go back. All right, hold on. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. All right, that's just our faculty and staff. Go ahead. That's our committee assignments. You know, we try to rotate them, but you can look and see what committee you're on. Go ahead. All right, as far as the administration, these are the things that, that we are assigned. All right, go ahead. You can kind of look that over at your own leisure. All right, fundraiser request forms, there they are. If you're new and need to request a fundraiser, run a copy of that and submit it. Fundraiser report forms, that's in there. As you finish a fundraiser, you fill that out. Then that way at the end of the year, you won't have any issues. Those are the contact informations for the different people. If you want to know anything about those topics, go ahead. There's our meeting dates, advisory team, every second and fourth Monday, faculty meetings, second and fourth Thursdays, and then we'll do our staff meetings on the second and fourth Thursday. Our PLCs will still be on Tuesdays, common planning, and all of those things. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, it's internet. There's our lunch schedule. Go ahead. There's our lunch supervision. Makeup work, you can go ahead. Just make sure you read that, familiarize yourself with that. Now ZAP. ZAP, zeros aren't permitted. All right, on ZAP, zeros aren't permitted. We don't allow students to just say they're not going to do their work. We got a student that didn't do their work, and we have to do a ZAP form on them. And, we notify the parent or whatever, and we do the ZAP form. When you do the ZAP form, you turn that into the administration, and then we will follow up on the ZAP forms. What we don't need to do is wait to the end of the 9-week and turn in a stack of ZAP forms. They got to be continuous. So if I give classwork, homework, or whatever, and they don't do it, that's when we call a parent, and that's when a ZAP form should be submitted. A lot of times when we do the ZAP forms, they'll do that work. So we don't allow them just to say that they're not going to turn in work. Because we do have a demographic that if we allow that, they'll take complete advantage of it. All right, okay? So read up on your ZAP forms and follow all the steps on that. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, these are just forms. You can keep going, keep going. These are just different forms and things that you can take advantage of. These are our SACS groups, different groups and different committees. Keep going. So you look at that and see which group you're involved in, and that's the definition or the breakdown of what the responsibility of each group. Those are school adopters. Now that's our 6-step plan, broken down, the process and everything. So read that and familiarize yourself, or re-familiarize yourself with our 6-step process. Because we will, when we get a loan referral, we will check and see if any of those 6 steps. That's a breakdown form. If you want to break it down, then you can do it that way. All right, that's the school uniform policy. Those are the 2 tardy policies that I talked to. They'll tell you what happens with 3 dress codes, what happens with the tardies. All right, keep going. That's the tardies to school right there. All right, tardies, when the tardy bell rings, I think somebody asked me that. Do we still close our doors? Late student report to the discipline officer, even tardy pass. Consistency is essential for this to happen. You know, we cannot, if they're tardies, we gotta send them. It's something every year. We have some teachers that let them come on in, and we got some teachers that'll send them. Well, the teacher to let them come on in, you just cause your colleagues some problems. Because if I send them, now I'm getting pushback. Because you're the only teacher that's sending us to tardies. So if we started from day one, then we won't have any problems. All right, go ahead. All right, that's kind of breakdown of our exemptions. Go ahead, keep going. All right, soon we have to have our pre-conference for our TEKS evaluation. So we'll do our pre-conference there. Also on that TEKS evaluation, make sure that after you have a walkthrough or something, or you sent it, you go in there and sign off on it. At the end of the year, we were hustling, trying to get all these different things signed off on. So make sure that as that thing goes, you go in there and things that you need to sign off on, make sure you go ahead and sign off on. All right, there's your sick leave, how all that's broken down, sick leave and personal leave. That's how all that's broken down. You can read that at your leisure. All right, go ahead, Ms. Ingram. Go ahead, internet use. Talk about professional and emergency leave, you get 3 days. And then we talk about the ethics. That's just it, it's in print. You can go ahead and say it. That's each of the standards and stuff like that. All right, there's a section in there for classroom management. You can familiarize, if you're new, there's a thing that you can look at and some things that's proven to work to help you with classroom management. And the biggest thing with classroom management is just being prepared and keeping them busy and being consistent. And no such thing as a party class. We don't sit there and just let them do anything. We want to keep them, keep that learning going. Talks about makeup again, talks about the ZAP again. Go ahead, Ms. Ingram. Okay, go ahead. Hold on, go back to, is that creative? Oh, just creating some things on how you can create a positive classroom climate. Treat them with respect, address students by name, things like that. Practice what you teach, model things, be honest, encourage all students to achieve, celebrate, and do student of the month. Feedback, give them, acknowledge all questions. Don't use derogatory statements, no sarcasm. I talked about that a little earlier. Idle threats are counterproductive. Say what you mean and mean what you say, and just be positive. Okay, you can read that. Remember that word, disengage. And then there's some other classroom management things that may help. All right, keep going. All right, go ahead. Just some guidelines for communicating with parents. Just some different opportunities. Oh, this year we want every, and I'll get with Amy to see when we can start this. Swing by the library. We want to do faculty and staff ID cards. And the purpose of that is because somebody said you can get a lot of educator discounts when you go places. So we want everybody to swing by and get a faculty ID card for that reason. All right, go ahead. All right, just some productive comments that can help you. Just some positive interventions or suggestions, just to kind of help you with your classroom management. Keep going. It even talks about if a student's unprepared, if students are rude, and just gives you some hints to stay positive. Just some things you need to know, just some suggestions on keeping your bucket full with water and continue to be pouring those nutrients and those things in the students to help them grow. Talk about being preparation. Students know when you're winging it. We know when you're winging it. We walking around, tell the teacher last year, I walk in the room, she jump up and just start talking. And I finally called the office. I said, for one thing, I've been in this thing over 30-some years. I know a dog and pony show when I see it. So please don't insult my intelligence. And, just be doing what you're supposed to do. That way you ain't got to try to jump up. Because as soon as she asks a question, the kids gave her away immediately. Because you start asking questions and stuff they ain't even went over. And they tell me, we ain't covered that yet. No, we did that yesterday. No, we already did that. So just save yourself a lot of time and effort. Just be doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it at the time you're supposed to do it. It talks a little bit about discipline, just some things that'll help you in your things that you may not have thought about. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. And you can read those. All right, these are the different forms. You can go ahead. Those are the conference reports. Then they have parent sign-in sheets for the first 9 weeks. When we have open house, make sure that you run one of those off so parents can sign in when they come to your room. All right, so just a lot of forms where you can record. There's parent night sign-in sheets. So all those forms are available to you in your handbook. All right, is that it, Ms. Amy? All right, that's it. All right, good. It's 3:30. I'm trying to get out of here by 3:30. Everything clear as mud? Hey. All right, all right. All right, did we do a sign-in sheet? All right, has anybody not signed in? All right, make sure you sign in before you leave. Where is it? Who has a sign-in sheet? Here it is. I'll put it